guys, thank you so much for clicking yet another video, and welcome if you're new. My name is Tanya G, and this channel is basically about me building my clothing brand and taking you guys along for the journey with me. So in this video, this is what I meant by I plan to drop some gems. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys exactly how I found a manufacturer and how you can find a manufacturer. And I'm not just going to say Alibaba, I'm going to go more into depth. So let's get into it. So manufacturing kind of sort of takes 3 stages. So obviously you have your first point of contact, and this is where you're contacting loads and loads of different manufacturers, and you may have loads and loads of different manufacturers contacting you too. Especially if you have an Instagram account associated with your clothing brand, you'll probably have a lot of DMs. Then after this, you narrow it down to a few manufacturers that you've been talking about and start getting sampling from each of those manufacturers and kind of sort of assessing who's going to work best for you. And then after that, you settle on maybe 1 or 2 manufacturers that you want to work with, and you start placing your bulk order. Then you get your stuff, start selling, happy days. If only it was that simple. So when you first start researching into finding your own manufacturer, you type into Google, and the first thing that usually comes up is Alibaba. And for me, yes, I explored Alibaba. So Alibaba is this marketplace which has loads of different manufacturers for literally anything, not just clothing, and you type in what it is that you're looking for and you speak to loads of manufacturers that way. I gave up with Alibaba quite quickly, and I'll tell you why. Alibaba, it is too much for a small startup business to navigate and actually find a manufacturer that's going to work for you, because more time, there are so many manufacturers on there, and a lot of them you won't even meet the minimum order requirement because they're looking at hundreds of products, and that is just not realistic for a startup clothing brand. So I quickly said, nah, Alibaba is not for me. I need to find something a little bit smaller. That's when I discovered Soport. Soport is a little bit smaller. It's still kind of sort of like a marketplace, and it is literally just for clothing brands. I think the company is based in the UK, and I think nowadays you actually have to pay to use the website, but back when I first discovered Soport, you didn't have to pay. You could go on there, post your project, and manufacturers can contact you, or you contact manufacturers with your project, whichever way works best for you. I did find a couple manufacturers that I did start working with. So I found one that was based in Pakistan, and I found one that was based here but done the manufacturing over in Pakistan. So the company that was based here, I had a meeting with them and it all went great, and they told me to contact I remember this, I actually cried. So they had said, you know what, we're a good company, you can contact this company, we've worked with them, and ask them, you know, what our standards and quality of work is. So I contacted that company, spoke to them, everything was nice. I don't know what that company then relayed back to the manufacturing company, because the manufacturing company then called me up and said, why did you call the company? And I was like, because you told me to. And he was like, you know what, we don't want to work with you anymore. And I actually cried real tears, because I thought I'd finally found a manufacturing company to work with. For them to just drop me like that, it hurt. Anyway, I moved on and I found a different manufacturing company where I started getting samples from them. Guys, these samples were so bad. Like, how are you gonna send me that with your chest? I don't get it. And this is what made me not want to work with Soport anymore, because I complained. I'd paid for these samples and they were horrific, but Soport started asking me 112 questions as to whether I sent them the Pantone color of the shade of black. As far as I'm concerned, black is black. So I had sent them a very clear image of what I want, and they sent me nonsense. But Soport wasn't trying to hear that. So I was like, you know what, I'm not going to work with Soport anymore, because clearly they're on the side of the manufacturers and not on the side of the consumer, which is fair enough, but that ain't for me. So I moved on from Soport. So then I found this fantastic website called Forsource. So Forsource is kind of like a Soport, except I don't believe they handle payments on there. So it's literally like a directory where you can contact loads of different manufacturers, and I found loads of different manufacturers that were able to cater to my small order quantities, and they were based like all over the world. And that is where I found my Italian manufacturer that I'm working with now. So with Forsource, you can even post your project and manufacturers contact you. So that's why I really liked keep on saying Sopor. That's why I really liked 4Source, and it's a great website. I'm going to link it down below because that is a good website to go and look for a manufacturer on. It's not as big as Alibaba. Sopor, I don't know how it works now because like I said, you have to pay for that. 4Source is free and they've got like a big directory of different manufacturers. So like I said, I am working with Italian manufacturer that I found on 4Source right now. But prior to working with that Italian manufacturer, I actually started working with a British manufacturer. I then found the website Make It Here. Again, I will link that down below. And that again is a directory but of UK based manufacturing companies. And guys, there are so, like, you'd be surprised how many manufacturing companies are actually based in the UK and they're good. Like, there's this road that I drive on every single day, Commercial Street, like on my way into London, and there's literally a manufacturing factory on that road. You would have never known. So I did actually work with a manufacturer that I found on that website, and they are based in Leicester, and they helped me produce some of the stuff for my handmade collection. But I didn't end up actually putting that to sell because I didn't like the material that they used and it wasn't of the quality that I needed it to be. And that is the issue with manufacturing in the UK. There isn't like a big range of fabric choice that you can find. That is a downfall of manufacturing products in the UK. I was really looking at working with a UK manufacturer, so I did spend a day going on several different meetings of manufacturers based in London, and the London manufacturers are really good. Like, the quality is A1, but you're gonna pay for this quality. And in all honesty, I couldn't afford the prices that they were given to me because those prices are also met with a minimum order quantity. Now, if I could only order 10 and pay those prices, cool, but where I have to order like 50 and pay for those prices, it just didn't make sense to me. So that's why I ended up going to my Italian manufacturer that I'd been speaking to for a while, and that's who I'm working with now. So my advice to you guys, got my notebook so I don't forget anything. Try and keep it as local as possible. As I've told you now, I am working with an Italian manufacturer. Italy is literally one plane ride away. You can go and come back from Italy for about £50 if you're lucky. So try and keep it as local as you possibly can. In the UK, if you possibly can. Yes, UK manufacturing can be a little bit pricey, but there are cheaper ones, but they are based in Leicester and you do have to look. What I did when I was looking for a UK manufacturer, I just wrote down all the email addresses for these manufacturers that I had found on that website, and I sent them an identical email to each and every single one of them, and I just waited to see who would get back to me. Then I set up meetings with those people, had conversations with them, and decided whether they were going to be right for me or not. They weren't right for me personally, which is why I decided to go to Italy, which is a little bit cheaper and the quality is still going to be fantastic. But if you can afford to pay those prices for UK manufacturing and you're based in the UK, I would definitely take that route instead of going overseas. Later on, when you need to produce like a lot of garments, that's when you can start looking at overseas manufacturing, because I'm guessing by that point you will probably have a bigger budget. You can actually go there, stay there and assess the quality and make sure that things are being done exactly the way you want to do it. But when you're starting out, my biggest advice would be keep it local. And also, when you are working with manufacturers, especially with those that you don't know, please try and find a way to protect your money, whether that's by using PayPal or escrow. I haven't used escrow. I've looked into using escrow, but please use PayPal or something that's going to protect your money so that there's a third party, so if anything ever goes wrong, you're able to get that money back, or at least get some of it back. To wrap it up, if I haven't been clear already, I hope I haven't rambled in this video. If you're looking for a manufacturer and you're a small business, use 4source.com, and if you're based in the UK and you want a UK manufacturer, use makeithere.org. I'll link everything in the description. Guys, thank you so much for dropping by and tuning into this video. I really hope I've helped somebody, even if it's just one person. And if I have helped you in this video, please comment down below and say yes, thank you sis, or something along those lines. And please guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.